What's up? In today's video, we're going to go over how to make a breaks or a breakbeat track. I made a track yesterday and I thought it was a great opportunity to kind of break it down and show you how I put the pieces together. So first, going to go over the sounds that I chose and how I put them together. Second, a quick overview of the mix. And third, I'll show you how I quickly arranged it and got like a full demo track, near done. It's more of a song style, not like a DJ style. So hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to be in Logic, so you can follow along, but this will work in any DAW. So basic principles apply. Let's get started, jump into Logic and get going. All right, guys. All right, here we are in Logic, and I'll show you the break that we centered the track around. It's a Melvin Bliss synthetic substitution, real popular break in a million songs, but just to let you know what we're using. All right, so we just went ahead and chopped that up, mute that and get it out of the way. So here's my drum stack, have it all in a stack. So there's the break. Let's go ahead and solo that, let you hear it. So there it is. We're at 129. All right, so took that, just added a kick to it underneath all the kicks. Let me just go ahead and get a little loop for us. Simple. Just punchy kick underneath, layered it in where the kicks were in the loop. Then we have the main snare here is to beef up the snare. Just gives it, gives us a little more control to control how much we want the snare to poke through in the mix. All right, and then we did a couple alternate snares, and these go on the, I did these on the 2 and the 4. This one has a delay. So just an easy delay on it. And then this one had a big reverb. And then we have a perk loop here that I added, just to give it a little more energy. Show you that. Just to pick up the rhythm a little bit. And then we have one more loop that we bring in later in the track, which is right here, just kind of a housey loop. And I quantized these all to the main break. With flex timing here, you can use whatever program you have, Ableton or etc. All right, so all the drums together, and they end up sounding like this. There we go. All right, so that's the drums. So the second thing that I built the track around is this ARP I made with the hype synth from MPC. I was making some sample packs for my Patreon page because I'm giving out samples every month. So if you want, you can go check those out. Ended up doing this really awesome ARP, and this is it with the filter fully open that I used for the main kind of chorus. So that's the main one, and then I have a filter closed down version here. All right, so those are the two ARPs that I use. So that's kind of like the chorus and the verse parts. I have this one off kind of like a wah sound off my Mofo. This is Dave Smith Instruments Mofo. Just kind of glues things together a little bit, like mid-range. Okay, and then I recorded the bass also on the Mofo. Okay, and then here is, I just cut that up for the verse bass and just kept it like one note. So just a version of the bass used for the verse. I have this one little talkie kind of filter synth from the Mofo. Here I'll play the full version, and I end up cutting it up, as you can see, for little pieces for the verse there. But let me go ahead and play the full one I recorded. Yeah, but you get the idea there. And then I have some chords that just kind of, I recorded a whole chord progression, but I ended up not liking it, so I just took the first chord and looped it just to add some a little bit of glue into the chorus sections. Kind of like comes in. Second half of the chorus is just a little underlying subconscious thing. All right, and then I recorded myself some vocals, which are awful, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, right? I mean, they're all right. I just covered them in effects and did a gate, trance gate, and here they are. All right, now let's check out how I mixed these. I'll show you how I kind of glued everything together and got the mix working. So here's the mix. I'll just go through the drums first. So we have the break, and all we really did was put a compressor on there and an EQ. The Logic compressor, Logic EQ. Yeah, just kind of, you know, rolling off the low end because the kick, getting rid of a little of the 180 there, 200 for the other snares. Then the kick, basically just flat, didn't do anything to it. And we have the main snare here, which got a Space Designer reverb, compressor, Studio VCA, and just an EQ. Just bringing up some of that low there, getting rid of some of that 500, getting rid of the real low stuff. Okay, and then the alternate snares there, we just have the one with the echo, and then this one's going to extra reverb, and that kind of just gives your mix, gives it a little variation, like, so it's not so monotonous and boring, you know, it's underlying little snare changes that you can't really hear, but they're in there and they help a lot. Okay, then we have the other perk. There's nothing there. This is kind of already processed, and I bounced this, so it was just an EQ that rolled off, made sure all the low end was gone. Same with the top there, just have the rolled off. Basically the idea is anything that's not bass or low end, you want to get the EQ and roll it out. Anything that is supposed to be there should, but otherwise it should just not be in the low end at all. Here's the filter riff. I just have a little extra echo on it, EQ. Here's our main riff, which I added a little bit of echo, a compressor, EQ, and then I have some stereo width here, a little stereo widener. So yeah, whenever you add stereo width, check your channel in mono as well and make sure it's not phasing out or anything. And there's the mofo, like the wah-wah sound. Just has an EQ and an echo on it. The bass just has the high end rolled off, little bump there on the resonance. There's the talk synth, just a little echo and EQ. You can kind of see a pattern here. The chords, EQ, and a little bit of chorus. My vocals, which I use the M tools, the pitch. It's kind of like an auto tune to get my, it's just like a ah, and I just auto tuned it. Then I used a gate and a trigger and chopped it up, put a delay on it. And there's actually the format shift on there as well. So yeah, it's got gives it a little cool like format shift sound. Keep it simple, really. When you're mixing, your biggest issue is just having the wrong sounds in the wrong places. So anything that's not bass, roll off. Anything you don't need up high, roll off. Just make sure you have things with purpose there. All right, so I went ahead and made the sections colored just so it was easy to see the arrangement here. Yeah, as you can see, we just kind of have an intro here. We got the first verse, and then we go into a chorus. We have a tiny little break section, which is just the laid down synth, and that rolls back into the second verse there. And then that hits the final chorus, which doubles and picks up a little at the end. So yeah, all I need here is some vocals, a couple verses, a chorus, and we'll ride it out. I also would add a lot of probably little effects, turnarounds, crash cymbals, things like that still. But as a basic demo, yeah, this is it. And it only took, you know, maybe 3 hours to totally put together. So yeah, get out there, man, make some tracks. Let's hear them. If you make anything cool, send them my way. All right, guys.